Well, the next part of my presentation deals with the advocacy for handicap accessibility. In July, I had an appointment with my prosthetist, and I was wearing my leg, so I parked in a regular spot. But I see this big brown truck parked across all the handicap spaces. I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but their initials are UPS. So I get out of my car, and I can hear him rustling around in the back of his truck, and I'm saying, hey, excuse me, do you realize you're blocking all the handicap parking? Nothing. So I don't think he hears me. So I'm getting closer to the truck, and he's starting to come out of the back of the truck, and I said, you know, you can't park there. You're blocking all the handicap spaces. And I said, could I have your name and badge number, whatever I need, because I'm going to be talking to your supervisor. And he says to me with an attitude, he says, you can do anything you want. I'm just doing my job. He loads his dolly, he has everything on it by now, and he starts, and they like the curb cut because they can roll that dolly up into the store. He's going into my prosthetist's office. So I follow him in, and I could tell everybody in there had heard the discussion outside because they're all like, and he unloads the dolly, and he says to me, well, I'm delivering stuff you need. Oh, God. And then he turns and walks out the door and says, have a blessed day. Oh, that was a Thursday. I waited to cool off till Friday, and then I started searching for his supervisor. Finally contacted somebody Monday, told them what had happened, and they said they got a different story. I said, well, if you want backup, call my prosthetist's office, because they all heard it. And he said, well, that will never happen again. And that driver has never been back to the prosthetist. I think he's in a witness relocation. He's not messing with me again. So that was a partial victory. I live in an elementary school, and it's big. There's a soccer field there and a track in the back. It's a pretty big complex. And I go over there on my hand crank bike, and I don't wear my leg because it actually slows me down. There's only 2 curb cuts over there, one by the park and one by in front of the school. And there's always somebody blocking those. So I called the police and said, what can be done about it? And they came out and said, the school's about 35 years old. And all the paint is 35 years old. So you can't read any of the signage. You can't read, no parking, the curb cuts aren't marked. So I said, okay, I gotta do something about this. So I contact the town of Cary, the police department, Parks and Rec, Wake County School District, and they start moving this along. About 6 weeks in, I get an email from the principal of the school, and she said, we just had all the signs painted, replaced. Why don't you come over and take a look at it? So that was Friday. So Saturday, I go over there, hand crank my bicycle, and I get in there. There is not a soul in the parking lot except one truck with a trailer. And guess where he is? And it's not even that it's easy for him to unload his mower, because that's what he's doing. He's out mowing the soccer field. He's on this big gang mower, and he's got headphones on. So I go as close to the curb as I can. I'm going, the old phys ed teacher, I'm whistling, I'm waving. I finally get his attention. And he takes his headphones off. He says, what do you want? I said, you're blocking my access. I can't get back to the park and the track. So he saunters over. It's a good way away. I have to wait for a while. And I said, why would you park there? And he's not even talking to me. And he gets in the truck and he moves it. And when I see block letters this big, when he moved his truck, it says, do not block, and bright yellow paint, as bright as your sweatshirt. And I said to him, what would possess you to park there? And he gets mad at me, and he gets all puffed up, and he starts coming, and he's like that, don't you talk to me like that. I said, we wouldn't be having this conversation if you parked legally. And he's still walking towards me, and he says, are you going to hit me? And he says, no, I wouldn't do that because I'm a Christian man. So the sass came out of me, and I said, well, would Jesus park there? So that was another partial victory, I guess, but here's one that was a total victory for me. The neighborhood I live in doesn't have any access to sidewalks. There's a cul-de-sac, but it was like a hilly berm that I would have to try to ride up in my electric wheelchair. It's hard to walk in the grass. So the wheels started turning again, and I asked I called the town of Cary, and I said, I need a 15-foot connector so that I can get out of my neighborhood. And I had my husband take videos of me in the wheelchair, and I'm like, oh, I'm really milking it. I'm like, oh, it is so hard to get up and over. And I also asked our HOA if they would back me, and they said, as long as we don't have to spend any money, yeah, we're behind you. So, and everybody said to me, it's probably going to take a year or two to get the town of Cary to get this through for you. 2.5 months. I get a call on a Monday, and they said, putting your connector in this Friday, can you come up? I mean, I can see where they're going to be. I'll be right there, sure. So I go up in my wheelchair, and and they have this wrecking ball, and they're breaking up the pavement, they're scooping up all the grass. I mean, they spent all day there doing this. But about 9 o'clock, the town of Cary car comes up, and five of the town officials get out of the car, hard helmets on, and they start taking pictures. I thought, am I going to be in the newspaper here? So it's beautiful. It makes my life a lot easier. I don't feel like I'm a prisoner in my neighborhood anymore. And my initials are PhD, so my husband and I, we named our connector the PhD Parkway. I guess what I learned from that is that one person can fight City Hall, that if you sometimes you don't think that one person makes a difference, that one person does. You just have to. Number one, don't park in a handicapped space if your orthopedic shoes are 4-inch high heels.